Sri Lanka looks like a tropical paradise online, but could you actually live there comfortably long-term as a foreigner? Why haven't you heard more about Sri Lanka as a retirement destination? It has been ranked as one of the world's most affordable retirement locations. It has a government retirement visa program specifically designed for foreign retirees. It has beaches that rival the Maldives at a fraction of the cost. It has an ancient cultural and historical inheritance, Sigiriya, Polonnaruwa, Dambulla, the sacred tooth relic of Kandy, that makes it one of the most historically extraordinary places to live on Earth. It has elephants in the wild. It has the world's most scenic train journey. And it costs, in many of its best value locations, less than $700 a month for a single person to live comfortably. Travel and Leisure has honored Sri Lanka as the world's most cost-effective retirement destination for 2026. According to Expat reports, a retired couple can live comfortably in Sri Lanka about $2,200 per month. The advantages. The cost of living. A budget-conscious expat outside Colombo may live comfortably on $700 to $1,000 monthly. A comfortable lifestyle in Colombo typically requires $1,200 to $2,000 per month for a single person. Couples may need $1,500 to $2,800 monthly, depending on housing and lifestyle. A one-bedroom apartment in central Colombo, Sri Lanka's capital city, runs $400 to $900 monthly. Outside Colombo, in the expat-popular southern coast towns of Gale, Weligama, and Mirissa, rentals are highly variable. A simple local apartment costs $150 to $300 monthly. Food. Sri Lankan food is one of the great bargains of the culinary world. A full rice and curry meal at a local restaurant, typically a central rice mound surrounded by 4 to 6 vegetable, meat, or fish curries with papadum and sambols, costs the equivalent of $1 to $2. The seafood situation deserves specific mention. Sri Lanka is an island nation with a long fishing tradition, and the fresh seafood available in coastal towns, prawns, crab, lagoon fish, tuna, is extraordinary in quality and almost unbelievably cheap by Western standards. A full seafood dinner for two at a good coastal restaurant with fresh catch from that morning, rice, salads, and local beer, $8 to $18. This is the daily dining reality of coastal Sri Lanka. The retirement visa. Sri Lanka has a specific government retirement visa program designed explicitly for foreign retirees. It is one of the most accessible long-term residency programs in Asia. The My Dream Home program is promoted by the government of Sri Lanka to allow people from all over the world who fulfill certain criteria to retire in Sri Lanka. It allows the retiree to live in the country under a long-term residence visa, issued in 2-year renewable blocks. It is open to citizens of countries recognized by Sri Lanka, regardless of race, religion, or gender. This program allows applicants to bring their spouses and children who are unmarried and below the age of 18. The people and culture. Sri Lanka has 4 major cultural and religious communities: Sinhalese Buddhist, Tamil Hindu, Moor Muslim, and Burgher, the descendants of European colonial settlers who have been part of Sri Lanka's social fabric for centuries, each with their own festivals, food traditions, architectural heritage, and cultural practices. Living in Sri Lanka means living inside a calendar of genuinely extraordinary celebrations. The Perahera Festival in Kandy, 2 weeks of nightly processions featuring decorated elephants, fire dancers, and traditional musicians winding through the city streets, is one of the most spectacular festivals in Asia. Vesak, the Buddhist festival of the full moon that commemorates the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and death, transforms towns and cities with elaborate illuminated lantern structures and pandals of intricate craftsmanship. The experience of these festivals as a resident rather than a passing tourist is one of the most consistently reported sources of joy from long-term expats. Healthcare. Sri Lankan healthcare is significantly better than most Europeans expect. The country has doctors trained in the UK, Australia, India, and locally, and modern private hospitals with international accreditation and advanced diagnostic equipment, including MRI and CT scans. The quality gap: private healthcare in Sri Lanka is comparable to mid-tier European private care, significantly better than NHS waiting list availability, though perhaps a notch below top German or Swiss private clinics. For routine care, chronic condition management, and most surgical procedures, it is perfectly adequate. The costs at Sri Lanka's private hospitals are dramatically lower than Western equivalents. A GP consultation at a good Sri Lankan private clinic, $10 to $25. A specialist consultation, $25 to $60. A comprehensive health screen including blood work and imaging, $100 to $250. Common prescription medications are available at pharmacies at a fraction of Western pharmacy prices.
The honest challenge is infrastructure variability. And this is the dimension of Sri Lanka that most consistently produces a gap between expectation and reality for Western expats, particularly those arriving from Northern Europe, Australia, or North America, where infrastructure is taken for granted as a constant background feature of daily life. Electricity. The post-2022 normalization has restored consistent power supply in major cities and established residential areas. In more remote rural areas, power supply remains less consistent. For retirees in Colombo, Galle, and established tourist area towns, electricity is generally reliable. For those in less connected rural locations, a generator or solar backup is a prudent investment. Internet. There has been substantial improvement in internet availability and speed evident with the influx of digital nomads. In Colombo, in Galle, in the coastal tourist corridor, and increasingly in the hill country, fiber and 4G internet is available at reasonable quality and very reasonable cost. In rural and remote areas, coverage is variable. Water. Tap water in Sri Lanka is not reliably safe to drink directly. Bottled water for drinking is a standard daily expense, modest in cost but a genuine daily reality. Most established expat residences have water filtration systems as standard. Property restrictions for foreigners. Sri Lanka imposes significant restrictions on foreign nationals purchasing land and property. The general rule: foreigners cannot own freehold land in Sri Lanka. They can own apartments in condominiums above a certain floor level, specifically above the 4th floor, with a 100% land transfer tax applying to certain purchases. They can lease property for up to 99 years. The practical implication: for most foreign retirees in Sri Lanka, renting is both the legally simpler and the practically smarter approach. The rental market is diverse, affordable, and well developed in the areas where expats most commonly live. A long-term lease arrangement with a good local lawyer's involvement provides sufficient security for most residential purposes without the legal complexity, significant taxation, and equity risk of attempting to navigate the foreign ownership framework. And Sri Lanka's climate is more complex than the tropical island paradise image suggests, and understanding that complexity is important for choosing both when to visit for a test drive and where to live for long-term residency. Sri Lanka has two distinct monsoon seasons affecting different parts of the island. The southwest monsoon, from approximately May to September, brings heavy rainfall to the west and south coasts, including Colombo, Galle, and the western hill country. During this period, the south and west coast can be persistently gray, wet, and humid. The rain is often torrential, capable of causing flooding in low-lying areas, and the social and recreational life of the coast slows considerably. During that same southwest monsoon period, the east coast, Arugan Bay, Trincomalee, and Nillaveli, is in its dry season. Clear skies, warm water, excellent surfing, and the kind of everyday tropical perfection that postcards are made from. And when the northeast monsoon arrives from October to January, the pattern reverses. The east coast gets its rain while the south and west dry out.